Hello, today we will study K nearest neighbor, commonly known as KNN algorithm. KNN is a type of supervised machine learning algorithm. It can be used for classification and regression both, but it is mainly used for classification. KNN uses feature similarity to do predictions. Let's say we have few data set. The data set is divided into two classes, class A and class B. This is my pre input data set. Now if I have a new data set, I have to decide whether this data set will become part of class A or part of class B. We can make this decision based on the similarity of features. That is why we say KNN works on similarity features to decide the category of input data set. Kanan is also called as lazy learning algorithm because it does not have specialized training phase. It uses all data for training while classification. Kanan is also called non-parametric learning algorithm because it does not assume anything about underlying data set. So as we just said, that Kanan works on the criteria of similarity. Kanan stores all the data available and classifies the new data point based on similarities. So again, the Kanan works on feature similarity. Let's try to understand it with a small example. We have few data sets. Let's say this is class A and this is class B. Now, this is the input data set which is already being classified into two classes, class A and class B. If a new data set comes, let's say in red color, a new data set comes, then we have to decide whether this new data point will be part of class A, which is yellow, or part of class B, which is blue. How do we make that decision? We make this decision based on the features of this new data point. We compare the features of this data point with the features of class A and the features of class B. Where we find more similarity, there we decide that this particular point belongs to class A or on class B. Let's take an example. Like if I have a Kanan model which has input of cats and dogs. Now I have a new input value which is a cat, but this cat is similar to this cat, but it is not same. And we have features of dogs also in our input data set. Now we will compare the feature of this cat with the feature of this cat and the feature of dog. And where the features match more, then we decide whether it's a cat or a dog. Oh, in this case, we have more similarity with cat, so the predicted output in this case is cat. Okay, so now how Kanan works. So during the first step of Kanan, we load all the training data set as the test data. Next, we decide on the value of k. In Kanan, deciding the value of k is very important step. And then for each new data point, for each new test point we have, we calculate the distance of this test point with each of the row of training point. We can use any formula for calculating the distance. We can use Euclidean distance formula or Manhattan or Hamming distance formula, as we have used Euclidean distance in hack algorithm also. Now, based on the value of distance, we sort these values in ascending order. We take top k values and then based on these k values, we assign it to the new class. Let's try to understand it with an example. Now, I have this class of yellow dots called class B, and we have this class of green dots called as class A. I have a new data set which is this yellow dot. Now what will we do in KNN is we will calculate the distance of this blue dot with each of the green dot. That means we will calculate the distance between this blue dot and this green dot, this blue dot and this green dot, this blue dot and this green dot, and all the and the distance between all the green dots and all the blue dots using any of the formula, Hamming distance or Euclidean, and any of the formula. Similarly, we will calculate the distance between this blue dot and all the yellow dots. We will calculate the distance between all the blue dot and all the yellow dots. And then we will find the nearest neighbor. If more of the nearest neighbors of blue dot belong to the green category, we say that this new blue point belongs to class A. Let's solve this with an example. Okay, now in this again I have few data set. I have class A, that is category A, and I have category B. I have a new data point which is yellow in color. What we want to do is we want to categorize this yellow point into either category A or in category B using Kanan. So the first step is to input the test data. All the data set would be input, and the second step is to decide the value on K. In this case, we have taken K is equal to 5. Now, as we just discussed, we will calculate the distance of this new point with all the points in the category A and in category B. In this case, we have used Euclidean's distance formula to calculate the distance. After calculating the distance, we will choose on 5 neighbors which are more closer to this yellow point. After getting all the values, we will see that these circled points are more close to this new point as compared to other points, which we can see in this diagram also. Now look at these neighbors. In blue category, we have 2 nearest neighbors, and in green category, we have 3 nearest neighbors. So the final answer is this new yellow point belongs to category A, the green one. Why? Because in this case, we have 3 neighbors, and in blue category, we have 2 neighbors. So this new point belongs to green category. Advantages of Kanan. Kanan is very simple to implement. Kanan works very effectively with big data if the size of data is very large. Kanan is quite robust to noisy training data. If the data is not structured, then also Kanan works well. Disadvantage of Kanan, the major disadvantage of Kanan is the kind of result which we get depends a lot on the value of K. So it is very important to decide a good value of K. We don't have any fixed formula or fixed algorithm to decide any value of K. A very small value of K may not give you good results. A very large value of K can result into overfitting. Mostly K is taken as 5. And another disadvantage of Kanan is computational cost is very high. Why? Because we need to calculate the distance of new data point with the distance with all the data points available in the test or the training data set. So the computation cost is very high. Thank you. Thanks for watching.